everyone and welcome to prompt number 61, in which I have drawn off the screen, so good job me. Let's see what the prompt is. And we have Mannequin and Lollipop. Alright, here we go. You guys, this prompt had its ups and it definitely had its downs, and by ups I mean it had no ups because they were all downs. Let me just say right off the bat, I should have done this original sketch. The outcome of this prompt is just, it's really sad. It's one of those disappointing prompts, so buckle in because there's going to be a lot of disappointment in this video. So Mannequin and Lollipop, I feel like it was really hard to combine together. My original idea was to have a sort of lollipop stand where there's this bunny selling lollipops and there's a mannequin next to the stand, I guess displaying the merch for the store, like a shirt, and it was holding a lollipop and it had bunny ears on because the guy selling the lollipops was a bunny, because I happened to remember that Easter was just around the corner and I forgot to do an Easter video, so I thought I could maybe tie this prompt into Easter. But something about this I just wasn't feeling. I feel like the idea was just a little too predictable, or it was just kind of boring. It would have been cuter than what I did, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. So I decided to sketch a few other things, like just a basic mannequin and some mannequin animals and a lollipop as a mannequin, just to see if any ideas would come out of it or if I could just stir up something. But wow, this prompt was really something. Okay, so the idea that I ended up going with was something that I was thinking about. As I've mentioned many times before, I've been super into the whole storytelling with my illustrations, so I wanted to go with something like that. The idea that I kept going back to was a mannequin in a store, just, I guess, in a sad position, and having a kid walk by it eating a lollipop, and the kid felt sorry for the mannequin, so it would try to feed the mannequin the lollipop, and the lollipop would just stick on its face because it's sticky, and then the kid would walk away looking proud of itself and just leaving the lollipop hanging on this mannequin's face. The original layout of this was sort of in a comic book style where there's a panel and something happens in each one, but to be honest, I just don't want to do comics. I do want to do comics, but I'm also just not very keen of the whole, I guess, panel layout sort of thing. So I didn't want to do that. And I just wasn't feeling this prompt, and I don't know what it was. Which I guess will be a common theme throughout this voiceover because I can't stop saying it. So what I decided to go with was a set of 3 mannequins on a sort of platform where there is a kid on the front looking kind of sad, looking kind of down, and behind the kid there is a male and female mannequin that look like they are, I guess, not talking. So I guess the idea comes from maybe their parents are in an argument and they're not talking, or they're going to divorce and the kid mannequin is really upset by this. And because these are mannequins, I think the reason why they are posed like this is because the employees have fun with them. I'm sure if I worked at a store where we had mannequins, I would probably be setting up the mannequins to do funny things if I could. You know, to get me through that boring store job and just coming up with a story for the mannequins every day and being goofy. So this little monkey creature is coming by and it sees this kid mannequin looking sad and it doesn't know any better. So like I mentioned earlier with the kid trying to feed the lollipop to the kid, the monkey does try to feed the lollipop to the kid, but the monkey also checks out the man mannequin, it checks out the girl mannequin, it gets tired and takes a little nap in front of them, and then it walks on to the left. So it enters the scene on the right side of the page and then it exits on the left, so you see it entering, causing all this ruckus, and then leaving the scene. Like I said, it's a really weird prompt. I just couldn't think of anything really good or really creative or anything that I was really into, and this is what I ended up with. It's different, it's not that exciting, and I think whenever I get in one of those moods where I'm just not feeling the prompt, I use it as a chance to play around with materials. So as you can see, I am giving watercolor pencils another try, and really I just want to practice using colored pencils in general to give my illustrations some texture. Not necessarily watercolor pencils, but later on I do play around with activating them because I wasn't happy with the result. I just think it's really fun to add a little bit something with colored pencils, and I keep practicing with them, and I do want to get to know them, but I'm having a hard time getting myself to like them or just finding a way to use them that I like. But I don't want to give up on them because it's something that I really want to use. So I used this prompt as a chance to practice a little bit with them. I thought I would put down a flat wash of watercolor and then go through and put the details and the shading with the colored pencils. There were times where I really enjoyed using the colored pencils for shading, like it was really useful with the monkey character. Because it had so many little pieces of fur, it was really useful to use that pencil because it had a nice little tip that you could get hair pieces for. But I do feel really limited with the colors you can get from the colored pencils because it is, I think, like a set of 12 or something, so there's not really good shading you can get for a lot of things like a skin tone. What the heck am I supposed to do for a skin tone? I feel like I just have a lot more freedom with creating colors that I need with my watercolors, so using pencils, I felt really limited, and I kind of felt like I cornered myself a little bit. But maybe I just need to do a little bit more research for colored pencils and just see what I need to do to use them a little better. Or maybe I can buy a pack of a bajillion pencils. When it came to coloring the mannequins, I thought it would be fun to keep the background really simple and color it a gray and then keep the mannequins white and have them pop. But then I kind of felt really bad for keeping them white, so I thought I would shade them or just color them in with the colored pencils. And at this point, I thought I had killed this prompt because I hated the way that the mannequins looked colored in with the colored pencils. I really like how you can get a flat wash with watercolor where you get no texture, and with the colored pencils, it was just so bumpy, it was so textured. I did not like the way it looked, so I had to go through with my watercolor brush and smooth it out with some water. And in the end, I was kind of happy with the sort of texture result that I got, and I didn't really regret that, but in the end, this prompt is a weird one. It just means I'll have to try even harder for the next prompt. Oh, and if you were wondering what the pink stuff was, it is the slobber from the monkey from it eating the lollipop, and it would slobber and pink slobber would get everywhere. And if you were wondering, yes, this monkey has no arms. I thought I would create sort of a weird creature just to keep things a little creative. So it's kind of like this monkey creature, but it doesn't have arms. It uses its tail as an arm. So there you have it. There's my prompt. It's a weird one, but there you go. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Or the end card. Are you guys ready for this week's featured artists? I was really intrigued by a couple of 3D pieces this time. So the first one we have is Herman Thurman C with this really pretty octopus sculpture where it's holding planets, and it is just so cool. And I think this is the first time we have a 3D sculpture in the prompts, so I'm pretty excited to see you guys using different mediums. And it's so cool to see a 3D piece come to life. That is so neat. And those worlds look really cool, so whoop whoop. What's whoop? What is whoop whoop? And then we have Sunshine 56, where they used a piece of paper and made it 3D by just kind of curling the octopus tentacles, and it just comes off the page, and I absolutely love that. It is such a cute detail. And the other side of the piece of paper is the sticky bits of the tentacles, so I really enjoyed that detail. I was blown away by this week's entries. There were so many. You guys are so creative, so thank you for joining in, and I hope you have fun with Mannequin and Lollipop. Good luck with that. Bye!